It's caught on camera. These moments show officers tackling and hitting a man that they were trying to arrest over the weekend. The incident there now going viral on social media.
And tonight, police and the man in the video are both responding to the incident captured early Sunday morning. Emily Longnecker joins us now with what both sides are saying.
Well, ladies, I spoke with IMPD Police Chief Chris Bailey today, and he says the investigation is ongoing to see if those officers followed the department's policy when it comes to using less than lethal force. And this afternoon, our own Matthew Foltz spoke with the man that you see in that video about what he says happened. He did say that he's glad that people took video of the incident, and he is looking at taking legal action.
Somebody injured me while I wasn't trying to injure them.
That's how 25-year-old Devin Hunt feels about an encounter he had with IMPD this past weekend that he says left him with these marks on his chest, arms and swollen mouth, and chipped front tooth.
I will be suing them.
Video taken of the incident between Hunt and police has gone viral. Police say the bars had just let out early Sunday morning when Hunt and another man were involved in a physical and verbal confrontation, and a crowd formed. That's when police say officers told people to separate, leading to this moment between Hunt and an officer. Hunt says he and the two men traded words about a girl Hunt was talking to, but says he was leaving when the officer walked up to him.
But when he walked up to me, he didn't say nothing to me. He didn't say, hey, stop. He didn't say, just stop walking or stop talking or go this way, sir, chill out, or nothing. Like no words were. He came up to me and said, what? What? What do you mean what? You're an officer. Like, what do you mean what?
According to police, this action is the officer trying to create space between himself and Hunt, who you can see slaps the officer's hand away.
Nobody should be touching nobody, regardless if you wear a badge or if you're a citizen or whatever. So I touched him. Well, he touched me. I slapped his hand down.
Then this. IMPD Chief Chris Bailey says the officer with IMPD's event response group used a high-pressure air launcher that puts out a chemical irritant. Officers who use it, he says, undergo specialty training and use it to disperse crowds. After that, the officer gets Hunt on the ground with some struggle.
I want people to put themselves in my shoes. I'm begging for him to like treat me like a regular individual. So he throwing me around, trying to get me to the ground. All the other officers come over there.
That's when you see another officer hit Hunt. Police say the officer was trying to get control of Hunt's hands.
You on this side and you punching me in my chest, like just because you're an officer, you're not supposed to do that, dude.
Chief Bailey says police encountered thousands of people that night, including dealing with other fights, gunfire on South Meridian, and people openly using drugs. Bailey says sometimes using force is necessary.
Force is not pretty. It's not going to look pretty on video. Now, it may be right, it may be wrong. We're going to find out.
Now, Hunt did have a gun on him, and he says that he has a lifetime permit to carry. And Chief Bailey, when IMPD released their statement today, they did bring up that gun. They say that they thought it would be irresponsible not to mention that this man Hunt had a gun on him if somebody saw that in the video. But the preliminary charges listed when Hunt was arrested do not mention anything about him not being allowed to own a gun or to have a gun. Now, Chief Bailey says IMPD is still investigating, and they are pulling all kinds of video in the area from all of those businesses and cameras downtown. The officers involved are not on leave, but part of this investigation, they are looking at whether these officers followed department policy when it comes to using less than lethal force. So.
Yeah, lots of questions about this. And again, that video, if you look at it closely, there is the gun falls out of the young man's pocket on the sidewalk. Whether or not they knew that or suspected that he was reaching for that or not, I guess will be part of the investigation.
Even if it was a factor. All right, Emily Longnecker reporting. Thank you. And tonight, IMPD is still looking for who is responsible for damaging multiple downtown businesses this weekend.
So we want to show you the bullet holes in these windows, businesses downtown. This is at the Starbucks and the Ocean Air restaurant that's on Meridian, just south of Monument Circle.
IMPD says they were called to a shooting on East Washington Street just after 3:30 Sunday morning. Police say they believe the victim drove to the hospital. At last check is listed in stable condition.
Tonight, an Indianapolis man is charged charged with murder in connection to a deadly shooting that occurred back in February.
Police say the man shot 4 people, killing one of them. 21-year-old Christopher Highbaugh is charged in the shooting. It happened near 38th and Emerson Avenue, February 18th.
Police say Highbaugh shot 4 men in what they say was an attempted robbery. 20-year-old Cameron Clay died in the shooting. The 3 other men all survived their injuries.
And tonight, we're learning more about a shooting that left 1 person dead and 11 others hurt in Elkhart over the weekend.
That's in northern Indiana, and police there now are asking for the public's help to find the people who are responsible. Officers were called to Elkhart South Side around 1 a.m. yesterday, and that's where they learned a dozen people were shot. 1 of them died.
And we're learning the identity of the man killed. He is 30-year-old Devell Osby. Police also giving an update on the other victims, saying 8 of the 11 survivors have been released from the hospital. Police believe more than 1 person started shooting at the crowd. So far, no word on any arrests.
A 15-year-old appeared in adult court in Jennings County today, now facing charges that he raped a 7-year-old boy multiple times as they traveled together on a school bus.
Rich Nye's been on this story since the teen was arrested 2 months ago, and today Rich had his camera in the courtroom.
Landon Doty faces 11 felony charges, including 4 counts of rape. The Jennings County prosecutor says that investigators reviewed over 300 hours of school bus security video recorded between February and April. He says beyond the charges, there are hundreds of inappropriate touchings and other misconduct by Doty against a 7-year-old boy with autism that Doty sat next to at the back of a Jennings County school bus. Not specifically this bus.
What makes this the most egregious is the victim in this case is a 7-year-old handicapped boy that is nonverbal, and he can't help himself.
The judge set bail at $250,000 surety bond or $25,000 cash. Doty has been moved from a juvenile detention center to the Jennings County Jail. Doty's next court date is August 15th. His trial is scheduled for October. In Vernon, Indiana, Rich Nye, 13 News.
Here's a live look in downtown Indianapolis today. Kind of used to this kind of gray sky, hazy look. It's warm, it's humid. Not a lot of sun and blue skies though, Felicia.
Not at all. Hot and humid seem to be the trend for today.
And it's going to be the trend looking forward too. So I can't promise that tomorrow's going to look a whole lot different Wednesday either. We may get back into those brighter, bluer skies, but that's going to come with some heat as we head into the upcoming weekend. So there's a few days that we want to make sure that you're aware we've got some big weather impacts coming that will include the threat of severe weather and the threat of some heat. Right now it's just warm and muggy. 77 Richmond, 79 Greencastle and Bedford. We have 82 Seymour and Shelbyville, and currently 80 degrees in Indianapolis. We've had a few showers. There have been a couple of thunderstorms rolling through the southwestern part of the state. So I'll give you one local look. Some of the steadier light rain south and west of Bloomington, but we are dealing with a few showers in and around Monroe County and some steadier light rain just to the south of Bedford. So this evening, still include that chance of a stray shower or a rumble of thunder. Otherwise, a mainly cloudy, muggy evening. Temperatures will stay in the 70s all the way through 10, 11 o'clock tonight. Now your Tuesday forecast very similar to today. More clouds than sunshine, a muggy, warm day with highs in the low 80s and the chance of a shower or thunderstorm, but not a washout tomorrow. We'll talk that severe threat on Wednesday, but also talk the potential of some high heat as we get into the weekend. Lots to cover in the 7-day.